So just as you think, so just as Muslims are fighting for their rights, and just as African Americans have struggled to gain their rights, how do you feel about individuals gaining their sexual rights? I mean, how do you feel about gay rights?
I am against homosexuality. I feel like marriage should be between a man and a woman. Only because I feel like that's what it says in the Bible. I feel like if God wanted marriage to be between a man and a man, or a female and a female, I feel like He would have created that. I feel like that would have been His initial thought. But instead, He created a man and a woman. And God's purpose, our purpose on life is to reproduce, reproduce and create other human beings to live under God. And a man can't reproduce and have children, neither can a female and a female.
The Bible may say that, but our whole government is based on like the separation between church and state. So they can't base laws off of what's said in the Bible. So if a man wants to love a man and get married to a man, he should be able to.
I think that's right too, because like look how much the government has changed. They redefined what a citizen is for Black people. They redefined marriage for interracial couples. I don't see why they can't redefine marriage again for like same-sex marriages. I don't think that's fair, because what if somebody came up and they were just like, well, I don't believe that homosexuals should be allowed to marry if we're not, if, gay people aren't allowed to marry. And I just think that that's wrong for us as people to infringe upon somebody else's right to love another.
Okay, I understand that, but also being an American, that's where it conflicts, because being American, we also are tolerant of different religions, and Christianity and Muslims and other
atheism. It's a religion. It's a religion.
It
is
true.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
But I feel like it also goes against their views as being religious. So
they don't have to condone it. They don't have to condone it in church. They're just saying that they have the right to get married. And with the whole population thing, America's overpopulated so if a couple of people are getting married and they can't breed, that's actually a good thing.
Why is that a good thing?
Because it statistically shows that gay people would rather adopt children rather than have children, and statistically the United States is overpopulated. Look at New York. Look at all the big cities, New York, Los Angeles, Miami. They're overpopulated with people. But to have more children, there's not enough picture now.
Yeah. I lost my train. No. But marriage is between a man and a woman. God created a woman from a man. So, like she said, if He wanted to make people so that there's a man and a man and a woman and a woman, He would have made another man from a man. But instead He made a woman from the rib of a man. So they are united as together as husband and wife. That's what they're meant to be. That's what they're supposed to be. There's not supposed to be a man getting married to another man and a woman getting married to another woman. And now they're sitting here and they're fighting and they're saying they deserve the same rights as married people. They deserve to call the shots when a loved one is sick and stuff like that. Yeah, you might be together for 5 years or so, but you're not married to that person. You don't have a say. You can't say, oh, he doesn't need to live, or stuff like that. They don't reserve that right. In my opinion.
Why? I don't think that's right though. They should be able to. If I'm depressed in my marriage, gay people should be depressed in their marriage too.
Okay. One last thing I have to say. Okay, and you were speaking about separation church and state, but I feel like that also has a line, because on our public allegiance we still stay under God. Mm-hmm. On our money we still have In God We Trust.
Yes, ma'am.
So
there will never be a separation between church and state.
So I mean, we can say that all we want to, but in reality there really is no separation between church and state.
But if there's no separation between church and state, that means based on the Muslim religion, African American people should have never gotten rights.
Okay, so
You gonna need to stop doing that.
This is interesting. This is
Being right?
This is interesting. But you guys are speaking about choices and relating it to religion and government. So I would like to know how you guys feel about abortion, because that's also a topic. That's also a topic that's generally brought back to religion.
Yeah.
And sure.
I am pro-life. I am against abortion 100%. There's no excuse for you to murder a child before it even gets a chance to live its life. The person inside of you that you are murdering actually, you're murdering, you're killing them. You don't know if they could find a cure for AIDS, find a way to shut the ozone layer, something like that. They could be something great, and you don't even give them a chance. Before they even get to breathe life, they're dead. And my issue with abortion in itself is that more teenage girls than adults are finding it easier. It's almost as if abortion is the new birth control. Like, oh man, mom, I'm pregnant, but it's okay. We can go get an abortion. Like, they think it's okay to have sex, get pregnant, and then once they're pregnant, they don't want the child anymore, so they decide that they want to get an abortion.
Okay, so what about the people? What about the woman who didn't make that choice to have sex and unprotected sex? But what about those who are victims of things such as rape? Like, do they not obtain the choice to go and get an abortion?
They can still have the child. I mean, they might. Okay, people say you look at it and you're like, oh, she got raped, she got pregnant, she shouldn't keep that child, because it's going to be a constant reminder while that child's growing up of what happened to her. It doesn't have to be that way. Like, in my opinion, yeah, you got raped. I'm sorry you got raped, but that is a gift God gave to you. There's no need for you to kill it.
It's not necessarily
And you can-
that way.
you can
be
always-
depressed from it. You can be scarred for
You
life.
can kill yourself.
You can-
you
exactly.
can
Would you
take
kill a
both
baby?
lives. And then you're saying it doesn't have to be a constant reminder. This can go back to the whole Moss thing. You're saying that if they put the Moss there, it can be a constant reminder. It can't be a constant reminder. It's the same thing with being like having a child. It is 9 months, and taking care of a child is a lot of work.
Then
And
give it
you're
up.
But you're also taking advantage of someone else's life. I believe that no, you're right, that abortion should not be a way out of something that you deserve. However, you should have a choice. The United States is about a choice. It's the same for gay rights, it's the same for civil rights. Yes, as a voter, as black people, you don't have to vote, but the choice is there. You have that choice. That's what it's all about. It's about giving choice. It's not about taking away the rights of someone who can't speak. That's just how it is. Let's be honest. Before you turn 18, nothing you do has anything to do with you. It's your parents make decisions for you, schools, everything. It should be the same thing for a mother, a father, or anything like that. Your parents decide what is best for you and what is best for them. That's life. That is how things are created. And as someone who believes in God myself, if they were going to create something like the cure for AIDS or something like that, if God really wanted that to happen, it would happen. Point.
So
blank,
you're saying
period.
that God wants this person to kill this child.
If
Is
they
that
do,
what you're saying?
If they do, I believe that God would have made it so.
That is foolishness. I can tell you that right now. Because 4.7% of the women who get raped in America have a pregnancy afterwards.
Mhm.
That is a small percentage of people, right? They don't, if it's that big of an issue for them, they can easily, it's not the best decision to do because it's not always going to come out the right way, but they can easily give that child up for adoption.
But it's a small percentage of people that kill and rape. It's a small percent of people who blow up and be terrorists, but they make a big impact in our lives.
Okay.
It's always a small percentage of people. It was a small percentage of people that created the Enlightenment, that created worlds of things that happen. It's always a small percentage. It never takes a lot of people to make a big change. It only took a couple of people in the civil rights movement to make a change in everyone's lives.
So I'm assuming you're pro-choice.
I'm pro-choice.
Well, okay, so you're saying somebody gets to choose who lives and who dies, basically. So you're saying, like, if you want to say you get to choose who lives and who dies, it's like saying you get to choose who lives and who dies when it comes to the what is it called? Capital punishment, the death penalty.
Don't we? Doesn't a judge and a jury sit in front of a panel and decide whether